Renzo, welcome to the new year.
Oh, it's looking pretty good. 2026, here we go.
Here we go. Do you have any resolutions?
I knew you were going to ask me about that. New Year's resolutions. I
How
have
did
to
you know?
say,
I don't like resolutions.
well, neither do I. I have
Okay,
a really
good.
complicated relationship to this whole concept. I used to believe in them. I used to think New Year's resolutions can be fun. Then I've gone through the phases where they can be really stressful and ultimately they kind of create like a sense of failure in a lot of people. I read a statistic, I'm sure you've seen this, that something like 70 or 80% of New Year's resolutions die by February 1st.
I'm not surprised. Probably by the second week of January, you're already like, oh, you know what? This is going to the gym every day. It's not working for me.
But I like going to the gym. I just don't think, I think that putting a New Year's resolution on it is an unnecessary stress, as opposed to finding something that you love to do and doing it for that reason instead of,
I
some
think,
quota.
I'm in my year of Japanese immersion, so I'm going to be giving a lot of
Excuse
Japanese.
me? A year of tell us more.
Well, and this is not a resolution. This is just as a personal project. I'm learning Japanese, reading Japanese literature. I will travel to Japan eventually. So I'm watching Japanese movies, everything I can.
But before people think that they're listening to the wrong podcast, we should tell them that this is
Just a Spanish phrase.
That's right, not Japanese phrase.
No.
Spanish phrase. The companion podcast
Of News in Slow Spanish, where every week we give the news in Spanish that is easier to understand. And here in Just a Spanish Phrase, as a companion, we talk in English and we talk about idiomatic expressions that are used in Spanish.
We pick one each week and we dig into their historical significance, fun stories about where they come from and where they are today. And we discover really interesting things like how phrases tend to evolve over time. But speaking of that, because this is a very old phrase today, what is today's Spanish expression?
No dormirse en los laureles.
In English, don't rest on your laurels.
Don't become a slob?
I guess. Yes, that's one way to look at it. But more specifically, it's don't become complacent because of your past successes.
Exactly. Don't become too comfortable thinking you achieved it.
Yes, exactly.
Always strive for more, pretty much. Or you won the race. Now you still need to practice to continue winning other races.
Right. And honestly, I'm a little uncomfortable by that whole notion. The idea that it's never enough.
I like to sleep in the laurels. I love sleeping.
Exactly. If you've done something to earn some laurels, you've earned a rest.
You've earned a rest. And here's what, we were talking about the Japanese concept.
Oh, yes.
So we were talking about dry January or starting full, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, and then you do it for 2 weeks. And then on February, you're already over binge watching and binge eating.
And binge drinking.
What I like about this Kaizen, it's a Japanese philosophy that talks about continuous incremental improvements, but a little bit. It's just try to do it a little bit better every day. I think that's better than go all in and then all out.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
I think what Aristotle said, excellence is a habit, is a daily practice. It's not something a big change, like little changes.
Well, in that case, this philosophy also applies to no dormirse en los laureles, because you're still striving for becoming better, for improvement, but a little bit at a time, as opposed to rushing to some big goal, and you have 1 year to achieve it, or you're a failure. Instead, it's you have your whole life to do things, to become better at things, right? And you can do a little bit at a time.
Maybe it's because I've been reading, and I've mentioned this probably here in the show too. This, I think he's Korean philosopher Bul Chun Hyun.
I'm not going to be able to help you there.
He has a book called The Society of Exhaustion. And he pretty much says that this 21st century society is not a disciplinary society like the 20th century society. It's a productivity society.
Uh-huh.
So it's not based on don't do this, don't do that. It's based on yes, you can. You can do anything. If you're not a billionaire, it's your fault. If you don't have the perfect body, you're not working hard enough. If you're aging, you're not using the right protocols.
Oh, see, I'm already stressed out just hearing you say that.
Exactly. We are controlling ourselves by demanding too much. So I believe, as usual, in the middle way, not to sleep too much and become a slob and give up on life, but not to become so stressed about striving for perfection that you actually are not enjoying any living minute.
Mm. Yeah, I think if you reach a point where you suck all the joy out of what you're doing, then what's the point of doing that anymore?
Exactly. You're sleeping in the
Resting on your laurels. No, okay. But to unpack this phrase a little bit, let's look at the actual origin of the phrase and where it comes from, and also how it's changed over time. So in English, we also use it, resting on your laurels. But why laurels? Well, some of you may already know this if you're listening right now to this episode. It comes from ancient Greece. Particularly the laurel wreath, so a crown made out of woven laurel leaves, which we also call in English bay leaves, in for cooking. The mysterious bay leaf. Nobody knows what it actually does to the dish, but everybody puts it in.
But it works.
It works. It does its magic. Well, in ancient Greece, the laurel wreath was associated with the god Apollo and also Daphne. And as a physical tradition outside of myth, it became a gift, a prize given to artists and athletes that competed in the Pythian Games of ancient Greece. So, kind of like a predecessor to the Olympics, it also included arts, not just athletics. Well, after the eventual fall of the classical Greek Empire and the rise of other empires, the Romans adopted this tradition, except now, instead of just as part of the games, they gave the laurel wreath to their politicians and to their generals when they had huge successes, big military victories, for example. The laurel wreath was given to that person, and that's why we see so many statues like of great Roman generals or like of Julius Caesar with the laurel wreath.
So wait, it's like nowadays that everybody gets the prize?
Like a participation award?
Yeah, you get the trophy or like the best of, and every single restaurant is the best of the city. Like everybody has a best of the city.
Kind of like that. Yeah, it was like a mark of excellence. But now that's how we come to associate the laurels as a symbol of achievement, a symbol of excellence in something. But this phrase of not resting on your laurels, going back to that first question about New Year's resolutions and putting pressure, what you just mentioned with the Korean philosopher of always having to achieve more and more. Maybe it's as I'm getting older, I'm starting to appreciate, yes, there is more I can do, but it's also okay to rest on my laurels a little bit, to take a break and appreciate what I have accomplished and not only worry about what I still have to accomplish.
Yes, and to enjoy the simple pleasures, a simple cup of tea, a simple, a sunset, sunrise, without thinking of the numbers you need to make or, I think that there must be a balance between dormirse en los laureles and just, resting a little bit without stopping to create.
So there we go. I think the answer goes back to what you said about going down the middle. The answer is always in moderation, right?
Middle way.
Somewhere in the
always.
Middle. Maybe we shouldn't fall asleep completely and stop progressing, but we also don't have to be rushing forward all the time.
Exactly.
Taking a rest here and there on your laurels, it's okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation.
So maybe that's the message that we can leave our listeners with in this first episode of Just a Spanish Phrase for the new year.
We're giving you an excuse not to go to the gym today.
That's not what we're doing. No, it's true.
Dry January 2027. It's all good. Have one glass. It's not that bad.
Take all your goals in moderation. Enjoy it. You don't have to punish yourself.
Exactly. All right.
Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another Spanish expression. In the meantime, Check
No
out
se
News and Slow
duermen en los
Spanish. No
laureles.
se duerman en los laureles. Keep studying your Spanish and come join us. If you're a subscriber to News and Slow Spanish, we can talk about these expressions and much more in rooms.
Adiós.